Sup Shredders, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to an SP Reviews, where today we got ourselves a track from Elektronik Girl Epic titled I Love Stealing From Woolies. And if we switch over to here as a Kiwi looking over at my Aussie compatriots, it's interesting that this has come up via the algorithm. I do like my hard bass. I don't like woolies. We're gonna listen through this track from start to finish, and we're gonna hear what we think. Let's do it, let's go. What do we have? Well, there you go, straightforward. And straight to the point. Great iteration of the theme. Interesting use of the slide guitar as well. Adjustment of the theme there. I mean, it's just so attention deficit at the same time the way it's edited. There's constant new things happening. But the floor to floor is consistent. Double tracking. I mean, it's such a sensory overload, but I dig it. Catchy as hell. We're going to talk about it more in the conclusion. Because welcome to the conclusion of my review of this track from an act named Elektronik Girl Epic, or EGE, titled I Love Stealing From Woolies. In this section, I'm going to provide an overall song analysis everything from lyrics and vocals all the way through to studio production, as well as any applicable constructive critique, and finally, my general thoughts from a listener's perspective. But first of all, what do we think this track is about? Clearly it's about stealing from woolies. There's some commentary on the price gouging that occurs in here. Clearly I'm not saying you should steal from companies. I understand why people would want to. A lot of the price hikes and stuff like that are ridiculous. It just seems opportunistic at this point. Whatever side of the aisle you're on in regard to that, though, I feel like this kind of story is effective not just from a storytelling perspective, because I haven't really heard a story about stealing from like something before. That's a very unique thing. It's also just very sort of organic and sort of like grassroots, and it's controversial, and so you'll get a reaction from people about it. Clearly don't give a fuck. They're just making it for fun. Like, they clearly care about what they're doing, but like they're not looking for people's validation. And I think that that's the only possible way you can make music like this and do the storytelling like this. Ultimately though, I mean, especially here in New Zealand, where like a lot of the prices for stuff is going up, I think there's going to be an audience who can sort of appreciate it across the ditch, across the Tasman. You know, it's mutual. Vocal wise, great use of rhythm and cadence. They're very catchy in some parts. Great use of double tracks and side parts as well. Nice use of panning and phasing of certain parts around the stereo field as well. Like, I've had this stuck on my head for a few days. I listened to a bit of it before I decided I was going to review it, just full disclosure. But it's not often I just get a song stuck in my head that's this kind of earworm. I think part of it is the kind of music, you know, that kind of high energy, constant doof, 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 doof. But there's also so much diversity structurally that it really does. It's quite entertaining. At the very least, you never get bored of it. There's no filler. But just, you know, the use of the melody, the kind of 90s is kind of like rap style of vocals there. It's got a kind of cute cheesiness to it. The da it's just that kind of faux drama is a nice sort of contrast to that. It's like they're kind of making fun of the situation, try not to take themselves so seriously. And there's a great sense of humor, you know, and there's a great sense of humor to it as well. It's not for kids, but it doesn't need to be. I like the attitude behind it and the direction there. Good use of wordplay. So yeah, vocals and lyrics are solid. Structurally, you know, at 2 minutes 10, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's very short. There's a mixture, like there's that instrumental intro there, and we're into the doof 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 with the kicks and offbeat syncopated hi-hats, and you got the basses there, and you're very quickly into the verse, into the chorus, should I say. And I kind of dig that because in this day and age, especially when you're trying to grow an audience or simply trying to retain attention, you do kind of need to not muck around too much to get to the hook line. And because it is so catchy, you have enough of it, but then you kind of have that switch up and it's like, oh, hang on, what's happening here? And we maybe reduce the repetition of something by a bar or time of it to make it a bit less predictable in terms of the transitions and sort of like sequencing of things. So just ultimately by the end of it, especially with the amount of risers that you have going through it, you know, between sections there, it's just a funky little bom 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 bom. It's a funky little melody as well. That's kind of a bit playful with the tone or texture of the synthesizer that's doing it. It's a lot less serious than the doofs when the kind of kick drums come in. But the dun 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 kick boom, that kind of call and response there, it keeps you engaged for a lot of it. There's also some fun sort of like synthy brass kind of bits around like the 1 minute 14 mark, for example, there, which are, you know, like they're just kind of triumphant in what we're trying to accomplish here. They're bombastic. And you've also got the slide guitars, which kind of gives it a Wild West kind of aesthetic whilst adding a nice legato sort of like instrument within to the layer. But even that kind of filtered drum beat at the start there, with kind of clicky kind of hi-hats in the way, it kind of sets the scene a little bit and the suspense builds as that slow riser kind of crescendos. It's these little kind of micromanagement kind of decisions that have been made from a production perspective that do really elevate the experience. And it helps that like the hi-hats, the actual kick groove is not just the chord notes, that the snares are so tight and the hi-hats with a mixture of 8ths and 16ths and stuff like that are just really sort of like, that they add a nice sort of noise to the mix, whilst being slightly percussive but not too blunt. And that final crash at the end of the track there, which just kind of like echoes everything out, is just the icing on the cake there. You feel like you've been through a fever dream, but like it's a great kind of fever dream, I suppose. So yeah, instrumentally, really compelling, great use of different rhythms and textures to add sort of, as well as occasionally irregular sequencing decisions within the different beats to kind of make the track more interesting, as well as great use of form factor and not wasting any real estate. Thematically, it's minor oriented, and I don't think you'd have you could have made a majorish kind of toned one, but I just think it would have been a little bit sort of disingenuous or weird. Having a bit of edge with the Phrygians as well, the flat seconds, was kind of neat with some of those melodies. And I think typically we stick with that. It's kind of, again, it's well-rounded and it doesn't muck around. And when you consider the subject matter of trying to sort of like lay down a law and not giving, it makes sense with the theme and sort of key signature decisions and stuff like that. Production-wise, incredibly tight. Really happy with the way the vocals, with the very sort of single, mono and double track takes and the phasing and sort of, panning and stuff. The way that's done is fantastic there, as well as the synth slide guitar, synth brasses, pads, bass drums, etc. All of it is well presented with both filtered and sort of straightforward parts. There's no weird frequencies within the frequency spectrum, like no weird resonant ones. Music surrounds you in the headphones. Some things even automated to go backwards and forwards there, which is kind of cool. There's dynamic range to it from a composition and production perspective, but it's still quite tightly glued and it's nice and loud without pumping. Well, with pumping, should I say, there's definitely sidechaining. Bus compression limiting is handled. No applicable constructive critique. I just think, again, I like, even if you don't agree with the subject matter, I like that people are just talking about different things in music. As a reviewer, I've heard a lot of different songs and EPs and albums, and it's just nice to hear something a bit more sort of like out there. And I think if anything, again, this track's got like 120,000 plays in 9 days, which is good. which is good. It's not bad at all. I just hope that Elektronik Girl Epic can continue to talk about interesting things. But thank you very much for watching my review of this track from an act named Elektronik Girl Epic, titled I Love Stealing From Woolies, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please go show them some love via the various social medias and YouTube page, and stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support local musicians and artists at this point in time, as we need the help more than ever through the crazy stuff going on in the world, and I will catch you in the next SP reviews. Spiderhands out.